Welcome to another episode of an Icon podcast. I hope you are watching on YouTube because we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. But if not, just listen along to the podcast and enjoy me taking it back in time. Going to be talking today about my very first photo shoot when I was a personal stylist. If you didn't know, I was a personal stylist for 5 years before I went into my network marketing journey and then became a creative director. And I just feel like looking back to 2018, when I had my very first brand photo shoot, I am so proud of the Camry who took the big leap in not only organizing this photo shoot, but seeing the value in that brand photo shoot because I was someone who was making $0, raising two young children, two young boys from home, doing my personal styling certificate online in the wee hours of the morning. If you have young babies, you know. And I looked at my website, I looked at my social media. Instagram was fairly new and up and coming back in those days. Reels were not even a thing yet. I feel like that's so crazy to even think about is that I was promoting my business online before Reels, before video content was even a thing. And so at that period of time, having a really strong brand presence was happening through photos. So if you're on YouTube, you're going to be able to actually see this photo that I'm about to pull up. And this is my first brand photo shoot as a personal stylist. Hopefully, you guys can see that. But there's me in a bright red power suit with a bunch of incredible women in the background behind me of all shapes and sizes. These were all just close friends of mine at the time, of clients that I had. And when I had the idea of this photo shoot, I remember the idea came to me because I was a personal stylist. So I was promoting that I could style women of all shapes and sizes. And I remember this idea dropped into my brain. This is why I think I'm such a great creative director. If I just want to like toot my own little horn for a minute, is that these ideas drop into my brain at the most random times. I don't know when this dropped into my head, but I remember just thinking like I knew I wanted to represent a bunch of different women of all shapes and sizes, but have them there and like me in this power suit showing like I lead these females to feel really good about themselves. And I was so passionate about going into women's wardrobes and helping them find clothes that suited them. That was like the whole precipice of my business and the whole center point of my business at that time. And I wanted images that were scroll stopping, that looked amazing on my website. And when I got my website all put together, I remember the first time I looked at it with these images, I think I cried because I was like, "Oh my gosh, it just looks exactly how I thought it would in my head." And the photographer nailed it, who was also a friend of mine. She lived just around the corner from me, and we shot at her house. So I want to just take you back into like how I planned this and how scrappy I was at the beginning of my career, not only to show you that you can pull together an incredible brand photo shoot on a budget, but if you have a really strong vision, that is what matters more than anything else. And a great photographer, because Hannah, shout out to Hannah, she has shot my family. She has shot so many of my brand photo shoots. She's back in Sydney, so she doesn't live near me anymore. But I brought this vision to her and we put the whole thing together. So I remember firstly, I was like, okay, I need this whole thing to come together, but I need a bunch of women to come and do this with me. And I remember I posted probably on Facebook, or I don't think I posted on Instagram at the time. I might have. And I said, I'm looking for volunteers of models. I want you guys to be of all shapes and sizes. No background needed, like no experience needed. I will feed you. I will do your hair and makeup. It's going to be like a fun girls' day. I had so many incredible friends and clients at the time volunteer and say, "Hey, I'll come do it." And then the big task of dressing them came, and I was like, "Okay, I want them to all be in black and be in this standout, like, red suit so that it's like I'm, the leader, I'm the standout. I didn't wanna blend in with them, but I wanted to showcase, again, all shapes and sizes. I went and sourced outfits for all of them. I hired a makeup artist who came and did it for a really affordable price to do all of them. And then me and my sister, who was living in Australia at that period of time, helped style their hair. Okay. So it's a very DIY project and it took all day. And I remember my husband was traveling back, I think from overseas at the time. And so we had like the kids running around the house. It was mayhem. It was crazy, but we got it done. It was a huge day, but the photos turned out so beautifully. Let me see if I can bring up another one. I had some, like, solo shots of me as well. I think I changed my outfit, like, 3 or 4 times so we could get a lot of diversity in the clothing, but I also had a lot of one-on-one time with, each model. It's just some, like, really fun shots of showing diversity and how if you dress for your body shape, how beautiful you can be. And it just was so fun to see even the girls come to life in front of the camera. I think a few of them were really nervous, but they nailed it. And the photos turned out so beautifully. I think I rented or purchased this off of the Iconic, and I think I sent it back after I wore it for like an hour, which is so probably not okay to do. But again, I was on a budget and I had to do what I had to do to bring this to life because I truly, truly believe, and if you are a client of mine or if you've watched my work over the last few years, you understand how much I put so much value in visual identity and showing up as the authority that you are. And I see so many female entrepreneurs struggling to show their authority visually online or through their website based off of their visuals because they've just gone and done a very stock standard brand photo shoot where they're standing in front of a studio wall with a laptop and there's no uniqueness to it. Okay. I went into my very first brand photo shoot as a personal stylist with zero marketing background, zero sales background, no understanding of business really, other than the fact that I just wanted to help women feel beautiful in their bodies and style them with clothes. That is all I knew. But I had a really strong vision of what I wanted my images to look like online. And I think that that's where so many people they skip over that part. They're so focused on the service or the product that they sell or what they do, but they're not thinking visually, how am I standing out? How am I looking online? And as a creative director, that's my strength. I can visually see how something is going to turn out before it even exists. I can see the environment, I can see the emotion, I can see how the visual cuts are going to happen if it's in a video. I can see the message that these visuals are going to bring to life because they say it's just a very traditional saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that is so true. When someone clicks on your Instagram profile or clicks onto your website, they are seeing before they are reading. This is why I'm obsessed with visual identity because you can get so much further ahead in your business if you focus on a strong visual connection with your audience. What are your photos saying? What are your videos saying? Are you placing yourself in an authority when you are thinking about planning your brand photo shoot? Like, not just ticking the box, okay? Not just going and planning something really stock standard to be like, okay, here I've got headshots or here I've got some like cute little flat lay images to throw onto my website, or worse, and no shade to stock imagery, but worse, you are pulling images off of a stock library that have nothing to do with you or do not connect to your business at all. And I truly believe that this hurts businesses. And let's not even get started with the whole AI. The whole AI trail that people are going down right now with trying to cut corners and use AI to create images and brand photos of you that aren't you. And I truly believe that in this point in time, leaning into individuality and uniqueness and putting value into unique creative edge is what is going to allow businesses to stand out. And those who choose to take the shortcut route of using AI or planning brand photo shoots that just don't hit the mark, it's going to damage more businesses than it's going to do good. Here's another cute little photo from the brand photo shoot. And honestly, I had like hundreds of these photos to choose from. I just wanted to share a few of them with you. But I'm so proud of the beginner entrepreneur Camry. This one, who doesn't even look like what I look like now, saw the value in these brand photo shoots. And from this brand photo shoot that I did back in 2018 up until now, over the last decade of being an entrepreneur, I have valued brand photo shoots, brand videography to amplify my business. Even in my network marketing business, I would plan team branding photo shoots. And it was one of the things that set our team apart from everyone else, is because I put so much value into the visuals and the feeling that people would get through seeing those visuals online. And at that time, like I said, I had no background, no experience, no understanding of business, but I knew that visual identity was going to be really important if I wanted to stand out in my industry. Because there's a lot of personal stylists, there's a lot of people who do a lot of the same exact thing: wardrobe cleanouts. They go take their clients shopping. They do body analysis or color analysis. Those were all the services that I was doing. It was a stock standard service-based business of being a personal stylist. But I had to stand out in my industry through unique branding photos. And this idea didn't come from anything else that I saw online. It was an idea that went into my head. Again, I don't know when. I just remember so vividly being like, this is what I want it to look like. And this is the message that I want it to convey when people land on my website or my social media. I knew that before the planning even started. And this is what I do as a creative director. I get really nitty gritty into your business, understanding what's the vision? What do you want your authority to be? What is the story that you want to tell when people are landing on your socials or on your website? What do you want people to feel? Who are you? What makes you stand out? What do you do differently than someone else in your industry? Those can all be told through visual identity, through photos, through videography, through the way that people land on your website and social media. And I often think that especially female founders and female entrepreneurs get very overwhelmed at the fact that they have to plan, they have to find a location, find the right photographer, they have to then actually get in front of the camera, which is so intimidating and so scary. And being confident in front of the camera is a whole skill in itself. They take all of those things and they make it a really big, huge task, which it is. And they either avoid it or they just take the shortcut route and do something really basic and really simple, and they don't find that unique edge. That is what I do. That is what I love doing. That is how I help all of my clients, is putting together this plan and this strategy to bring the vision to life so that when you are in front of the camera for your brand photo shoot and the results that you get afterwards are magic. And I've not had one client in my time as a creative director who has not got their photos back and been blown away at what I saw for them and the vision and the way that it came together for them, that they were like, I would have never thought of that. I would have never seen myself through that lens. And that's what I love to do. So taking it way back to 2018 feels like a lifetime ago. Back then, I had two young little boys, now have three grown children who are all in school. And it just goes to show that personally, I feel like my talents have always been in creative direction and understanding how to make women shine in front of the camera. And I just wanted to show you guys. Maybe I'll make a little series of this because I actually have other brand photo shoots that I've done. And I'm continually doing them. I did one, I think about a year and a half ago. And at that time, I actually didn't even know what it was for. I'll save that story for another time. One of the coolest photo shoots I've ever done with the most incredible photographer who's in the States. But I'm already thinking about how I can update my imagery and my videography, because video is queen. We all know that. In 2026, video and having video presence is highly, highly important. I still love photos, but videos are really taking over. I'm thinking about now, like, how do I want to update my brand images now to reflect where I'm at in my business and continually having that refresh, because it's not just like a one and done thing. I think that having fresh visuals consistently at least once a year or once every 18 months is really important, and you don't have to do this huge production. Like I said, I did this on a budget, guys, okay? And depending on your budget as a client, and I take that when you come to me and say, Camry, I want you to help me organize my brand photo shoot. I look for photographers within your budget, locations within your budget, and we work together to find the best solution. But it is an investment. It is well worth the investment, and something that is going to take your business from getting scrolled past to stopping the scroll, booking higher level clients, having that visual authority that you're looking for in your business. And I am so passionate about this. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to this on the podcast today. I, like I said, jump over to YouTube. You can see the photos that I was showing on my laptop on YouTube. I will also be cutting this into some clips for Reels, so I'll be sharing that as well. But I also hope that you remember that you are an icon and you can go and plan your next brand photo shoot with confidence. If you need help, that's what I'm here for. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.